Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Eric Vaughn. Just getting over a little cold, trying to clear my throat here. Welcome to the Family Cash Machine and the Fam Cash Coin. It's been a little while since I did a video. I've been on vacation. I think, two videos on vacation for you guys, but I wanted to share with you guys. I know you guys said, what is going on behind him? I did a video with this before, and most people don't know about this. This is actually the U.S. debt clock, and it is clicking and ticking second by second. Debt is accumulating extremely fast. Now, what is the Family Cash Machine about? First of all, I just wanted to give you guys a little background on myself. I'm a former real estate, commercial and residential real estate appraiser. Actually traded currencies for a while, Deutschmarks and Japanese yens and Swiss francs, and then eventually municipal bonds and as well as coffee. I have been a real estate investor for a while, made some money in real estate, things like that, and it led me to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. When I found out about this industry, I wanted to make sure that my people would not be left behind in this industry as it's growing and accumulating momentum. And I think last year Forbes magazine reported that more millionaires were created in cryptocurrency in the last 2 years at a younger rate, more younger than most millionaires, who are predominantly around between 40 and 60 years old. A lot of individuals mature to the point to becoming very successful businessmen. But in this cryptocurrency space, we're seeing millionaires being created younger, 19, 20, 26, 27, multi-millionaires, even billionaires now being created in the last 2 years. And Forbes magazine created a section about that this year in 2018. They created a section about it. And I thought that was amazing. So this is kind of a hidden secret. They're not talking about it, but I wanted to share and start off talking to you guys about the debt. I didn't know what to talk about earlier today. I was kind of stuck at odds because I didn't want to sound so doom and gloom, because so many people are expecting this crash. They're expecting the crash. If you listen to many of the economists around the world, they're talking about an economic crash just about to happen. Well, in fact, I think that since 2008, since we had this recession, there has not really been a recovery. I haven't seen a real strong recovery. Now, I want to go over some of these numbers with you guys so you guys can see what this stuff kind of represent. Of course, you can see this huge number right here, which represents the U.S. national debt. And as you can see, it is accumulating debt very, very rapid. And I'm going to go through some of these numbers with you briefly. It's not going to be a long video here. I just wanted you guys to catch your attention and show you guys that this is very serious. And this is the highest the debt has ever been in the history of the country. And so they said that it's over 67,936 debt per citizen. Wow, that's the average, when they average out debt per citizen. I know over 85% of the households today doesn't have savings, and that used to not be the case. There used to be savings accounts, and or people stuff money in their mattress or whatever. But there used to be a time in this country when people had a savings, and that time is really very it's very rare that anyone has savings. Everybody just pretty much robbing Peter to pay Paul and working 2 and 3 jobs just to try to make a living. So one of the reasons we created the Family Cash Machine, because we saw this as a huge problem of around the world, actually, not just in America, but everywhere where there's a fiat currency, meaning paper money. It is creating debt because it's not backed by gold, it's not backed by silver, it's not backed by anything but debt. And eventually, if you continue to create debt, at some point it's going to implode or explode. And that's where we're at right now. So I know it's not that often you guys see a man of my color talking about debt and talking about the U.S. national debt and the global debt and fiat currency. But I'm going to tell you something. It's time now that you guys listen, because times are changing and resources are running out. A lot of us are not able to actually create any kind of income How you doing? I got a little audience here. And so I wanted to show you guys this national debt. This clock, you guys can go and look at this. It's real time. You can go to the usdebtclock.org. It's real time, and you'll see all the different things going on. And I want to go through some of these numbers with you guys. Check this out. $22 trillion in debt. That's what you guys see. It's the worst it's ever been ever in the history of the world. Then we have, from there, we have the U.S. total interest paid, $3 million. All this is in the red. Notice this, all is in the red. All this is debt. And then look at what's in the green. Let's look at what's in the green. U.S. federal taxes. Interesting. The taxes are in the green. They're making a profit on taxes. Everything else is in the red. The total state revenue, green. 1 billion, excuse me, that's $3,404,000,000 in the green. Okay, the revenue per citizen, $10,000 profits. So it's interesting that the debt of the U.S. economy is red, but the federal tax revenue is green. Interesting. So this is things you got to look at. They're telling you right here what's going on. Okay, now I want to move over here quickly over here to the U.S. population. They said it's at 429 million. That's actually not accurate. It's about 490 million people in this country. But we also have, let's look at this, 122 million U.S. income taxpayers. Okay, and I was looking down here, 15 million workers, union workers. That's pretty bad, I would think. You only have 15 million people that are union workers in a 490 million populated country. That's according to the census of the recent census. Now, this might be just U.S. citizens. There's a lot of people here that still immigrants that's fighting or filing different documentations to become legal, so they may not be counting them. But there is over 490 million people in the United States right now as of today. Approximately about 50 million African Americans of African descent. Okay, so let's just look at these numbers. Again, I'm going to go through this real quick. You guys can take your own time, go to this, look at this at sometime when you want to look at this. Let me say here, I was looking at something that was quite interesting here. Where is it at? Okay, the median income now is $33,000. That's the medium. That's the average household. 33,000 is not a lot of money. Let's just think about it. If your mortgage is $2,500 or $1,500, then it's taking up 50 to 75% of your income right there. That's not even counting the car note. That's not counting, other bills that you have, medical bills or whatever. So people are living pretty close to the grid right now. People are struggling pretty hard right now. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this. I wanted to show this living in poverty. 37 million people. Now, remember, they only showed you a 329 million population. So out of that, you're telling me 10% is in poverty, living in the poverty range? That's pretty bad, I would think, for a quote unquote modernized country. Now, the other day I watched a news report that stated that the U.S. economy is doing great. It said the U.S. economy is good. It's excellent, and I disagree with that because the statistics showed that it was 3% unemployment. Is the lowest it's ever been for African Americans. It's the lowest it's ever been, and they're giving all the credit to Donald Trump. Now, let's think about that for a minute. 329 million people that they said is in this country, but the Census Bureau says it's over 470 million people. Now, check this out. Let's say 329 million. Let's just go with their consensus. Let's go with it. Okay, 329 million people. You telling me only 3% are unemployed? Does that make sense to you based on your survey and your observation of what's going on in this country? I don't think so. I don't think that 97% of the people in this country are employed. In fact, when I found out how they actually accumulate that number, what they do is they take the last 6 months, and anyone who hasn't been looking for a job within 3 months, they're actually not counted anymore. They don't count those people who have been looking for 7 months or 8 months or 9 months. You're not even counting them more in that consensus. So that to me is not an accurate number of the economy. Also, what they use to determine the economy is they use the Dow Jones. Now, me being an ex-trader, I know that the Dow Jones is it's a number that is reflective of corporate capital gains and gross domestic product, things like that. So if you have about 5 corporations in America that has showed tremendous profits, it can make the whole Dow Jones upward. Now, being that that's the case, the Dow Jones to me is not a reflection of the economy either, of the masses of the people, which is still America has the hugest middle class in the world. China gaining on us. I think in the next couple of years, maybe 5 years, China may surpass us in middle class. So this is why we created the Family Capture Scene, to awaken the conscious, to make people understand what's really going on, why the economy is crashing, what gives money value, what makes money not valuable. We've never had to ask these questions because all of our lives, most of us in the last 3 generations, 4 generations, America has had the #1 dominant economy, dominant dollar in the world. So you didn't really have to worry about that. You really didn't have to figure that out. But guess what? Things are changing now. So you're going to have to start understanding what's going on, because just like I showed you guys, where we're looking at one of the greatest, I would say, economic calamities coming up real soon within the next 2 or 3 years. A lot of economists are saying nobody can actually predict it because these presidents have been very, and the Federal Reserve chairmen have been very strategic in kind of kicking the can down the road, so to speak, and just continue to add debt. Now, I showed you guys that $22 trillion of debt, and they said it's the worst ever in the world. But what I didn't talk about is the $36 trillion in debt in derivatives. We haven't even gotten to derivatives. They don't even mention that anymore. And that's kind of scary, because when that collapses, it's going to be disastrous. I think Chase has over $75 trillion in derivatives, which is basically mortgages and car loans bundled up into quote unquote AAA investments and put into a CD, and it's basically debt. So the $75 trillion that Chase is holding, it actually surpasses the entire global GDP. Wow. And that's not even counting Deutsche Bank and all these other banks that have $50 and $60 trillion of derivatives. Now, when all of that stuff crash, it's going to be economic calamity like you've never seen before. But this video is not about just focusing on that. What I wanted to tell you guys is the same time we're having one of the most greatest economic disasters in the world also presents one of the greatest exchanges of wealth ever in the history of the world. And you guys are not being focused on that. You're being focused on the debt. You guys have been taught about the debt, and even kind of a little bit, I want to say, you've been a little deceived too, because they're still saying that the economy is doing good. It's not. According to all these numbers I just showed you, it's not doing good. According to the fact that every 6 months, or someone who's been searching for a job over 6 months is not even considered anymore in that unemployment rate, we don't even have an accurate number. But I know for sure, based on my travels around the country, I've pretty much been to all the states in this country, with the exception of maybe 5 states. It's not a lot of people that are working. And if they are working, they're barely struggling to just exist. They're just existing. They're not really living right now. And I think this is one of the worst times I've seen in my life. And so it's going to get worse and worse and worse as things start heating up with these trade wars. And what you guys don't realize with these trade wars is when we go up on China, 27%, 30% on their products, they're just going to pass that price down to the consumers, because they're going to continue to bring computers here. We're going to continue to buy cameras. We're going to continue to buy cars. We're going to continue to buy electronics and phones and things that are all made in China and Taiwan and these other countries. We're going to continue to buy these products, but they're going to go up on their products to be able to compensate for the tariffs and still make a profit. So at the end of the day, did our government actually make a deal with some of these countries to quote unquote go to war with you in trade war and go up on the products, when at the end of the day that price is going to basically come down to the consumers? Consumers are going to pay that, not those countries. Because again, what manufacturer, what producer of a product is going to sell their product at a loss? No one is. So, we're kind of being bamboozled into a really bad situation. And now I think our government is talking about doing more tariffs on Mexico. And so that's going to, again, negatively affect consumers. This is not a good thing. And so it's getting kind of heated up. But again, like I said, because we have a time now that there is a currency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency has been created. And that currency doesn't predicate its value on any of those numbers. Did you see how many numbers I showed you guys? Let me pull it up again. How many numbers did you guys that we saw that all are attached to the dollar? Look at all these different numbers. Look at all this stuff. Let me shrink my screen. Look at all of this stuff here that is attached to the US dollar. There's so many different factors here. Look at all these different things. All of this stuff is connected to the dollar and the value of the dollar. And also we didn't have on here oil sales and, the different oil tariffs and stuff like that. All of that is connected to the value of the dollar. And I'm going to say this in my closing. There's never been a fiat currency ever in the world, a paper dollar, that has actually lasted. All paper dollars have all come to zero, every single one. There was a research done by a guy named Anderson, and he went from A and studied all the fiat currencies, all of the paper currencies in the world. He went to B, he got halfway to C. I think he got to 600 currencies, and every last one of them throughout history ended in zero because of this debt, this whole borrowing and debt and taking the money off of gold and having nothing sound to back the money up, and just, eventually it collapses. And so that's where we're in right now. But again, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, it's a value created with these currencies that's just based on people trading and using it. And we've proven with cryptocurrency, because now I think Bitcoin is at about 7,000 or 8,000 at the time I'm doing this video, and went as high as 20,000. Remember, Bitcoin started off nothing. It started off with no value at all. And it was said that value has to be granted by a government, or it has to be given by a bank or central banks, and we've been lied to it. It's not. Value is actually created by people using a product or using a certain medium of exchange to exchange value or goods. So again, because we're in a very unique kind of like change going on, economic change, those that understand what's going on, or those that kind of are seeing what I'm seeing, they have an opportunity to make a tremendous amount of money. So what I'm saying is, this is one of the greatest exchanges of wealth. It's one of the greatest economic calamities, but it's also one of the greatest exchanges of wealth being presented right now ever in the history of the world. But they're not talking about that. They want you guys to focus on the crash, and they want you guys to think that everything's okay too, in a certain sense. They want you to stay focused on basketball, stay focused on the playoffs, stay focused on now Monday Night Football is coming up, stay focused on an illusion. They don't want you guys to really wake up to understand what's going on, and I don't know why, because there's plenty enough money for everybody to be okay and to live a decent life. So with the Family Cash Machine, what we're doing is showing you guys how to actually position yourself. We have our own cryptocurrency, we have our own network marketing, and we have our own online school of economics. It's very simple. We take all of that financial blah, blah, blah that they break down, and we make it so simple to where a baby can understand basic adding and subtracting and basic debt and assets. And we tell you and teach you guys about money and teach you guys how money is changing, how economies are changing, and how you can just position yourself for that change, which will place you in a position of great wealth. It's happening right now. So many people are making so much money because they understand what's going on and they know how to position themselves in those positions that will be able to exchange that wealth. Now, remember what I said, is that when great disruptions come, when something comes that disrupts, like the economy is being disrupted, the global economy being disrupted, there's also an advantage to that, to those who are the disruptors. So what I'm saying to you guys is it's time for you guys to learn something different. It's time for you guys to understand we can control our own economy. We can control our own value. And that's what the family cash machine is about. Not just making the money and positioning yourselves for this great exchange of wealth, but we teach you guys how to create generational wealth, how to perpetuate that into the future. And so with that, you guys, again, like I said, there's a great calamity coming. There's also a great opportunity coming. And if you guys are conscious and watching what's going on, and you guys want to learn more about how you can position yourself for this great exchange of wealth that's going down, then go under here, sign up for this class. Go under here. I'll have a link under this video, and we're going to be doing some live Facebooks next week. I'm just getting back started. We are going to be launching this platform this week, mainstream, and we have a lot of people right now that are waiting for us to launch these courses. And we do have several courses that will not just educate you, but will actually teach you how you can position yourself for one of the greatest exchanges of wealth ever in the history of the world. Now, why am I saying that? Well, I keep saying the greatest exchange of wealth because, remember, money's being disrupted, okay? There is no product in the world more valueless than money. Money is the hugest product in the world. There's so many different currencies around the world. Every one around the world, no matter what religion, no matter what language, no matter what country they're from, have in common is money. And we all use money, different types of money. But what if all these monies and all these currencies are crashing simultaneously? Those that understand how to transcend to the new currencies, which is cryptocurrency, they're going to be very wealthy. But you got to be careful about that. That's why we're teaching you guys, because there's going to also be a controlled cryptocurrency that's centralized. And we're talking about decentralized cryptocurrencies that the people themselves in networks, unattached to regulators, unattached to governments, they control the value through trade. And no bank and no government are controlling the value. This is what we're talking about. And so it's a huge opportunity right now for those around the world. It's happening with you or without you. I'm not here to get anything from you. I can do this without you guys and make plenty of money, but I'm so passionate about making sure you guys don't miss what's happening right now and don't miss an opportunity to put your family in a position of generational wealth. So with that, I'm going to sign off. This is Eric Vaughn, Family Cash Machine. You guys grab that link right there, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and go right ahead and sign up for our free class, The Phoenix. Make sure you watch the instructions. When you go on our website, there's going to be 3 sections of instructions. There's going to be a section explaining to you, and there's going to be a section 1 and a section 2, very simple instructions. Make sure you follow them, and go ahead and sign up for the free Phoenix class, and we'll send you a free ebook called The Greatest Exchange of Wealth Ever in the History of the World. And with that, you guys, I'm going to sign out. This is Eric Vaughn. Peace.